Hello again, everybody. Thank you for tuning in again. This is going to be part 3A to our Make a Game tutorial using Unity. Now, in our last tutorial, we made our first script, talked a little bit about coding. In this video, we're going to add on to that script a little bit to make the ball jump. So, I'll just give you a reminder where we left off. And also, you can use the WASD keys to move the ball. So, you could just use those keys to move the ball, left and right. So our ball cannot jump. So now we want to add on to our script to make the ball jump. So you can go ahead and open up the ball behavior script, and then we're going to make a new variable right underneath this one. We're going to call this variable jump height. Whoops. We're going to call this variable jump height, and we'll set that equal to about 8. So that's a good height. And as you can see, if I just save that, when we go back into Unity, if I go into the scene view, click on the ball, a new variable is created in the ball behavior script called jump height, so we can change it from here. You can play around with it if you're not satisfied with that jump height. But we're not quite done yet. Okay, so now what we're going to do right underneath our jump height variable is make a private variable. Now, before I get into a private variable, I just want to confirm that a variable is basically a box that we store everything and put everything in so we could use it later. Like for example here, we have the variable rotation speed. Here we have rotation speed. We used our variable right here. So we opened up the box, and the contents inside the box are the rotation, which is times equals, which is times and equal time dot delta time. So in a private variable, now also in a private variable is basically a variable which cannot be changed inside Unity. So you noticed before that we can change these variables inside Unity, we could change these numbers. A private variable you are not able to change inside Unity. You have to open the script to change the private variable. So we'll create our private variable here, and we'll call this private var, and we'll type in is falling and set that equal to false, and then close that off with a semicolon, of course. Okay, so now what we want to do inside of the semicolon, tab down, and then we want to write an if statement. So we type in if, then open up a parentheses, and I forgot to put a space there, and then we type in input dot get key down, and then another parentheses, and then we can type in key code, and we'll use space. So basically what this is saying is when we, and then close that off with parentheses first and then a semicolon. So basically what this is saying right here is if we press the key space down, and our ball will jump. So you could change this to anything. So you could change that to W if you want, or you could change it. I just like to keep it at space because it's easier. Oh, and I forgot, at the end of if statements you do not need a semicolon. And let's just enter this, and then we'll type enter, open up the curly brackets again, and then tab that out, and then inside the curly brackets we are going to type rigid body dot velocity dot y equals the jump height. And this goes back to the variable which we made before it, jump height. That's the jump height. So this is saying if we press the space button down, the velocity of the ball going up will be equal to the jump height, so the velocity will be 8. Okay, so now this should be good now. So if we just save that, we can close that and go into our game, and we can click play, and you can see that if we press the jump key, which is space for me, the ball jumps. It can be W for you or whatever, like I explained earlier, but for me it's the space key, and if we combine it with some movement, we have a fun little game going. So that is 3A that is part 3A. In 3B, we will be basically improving the jumping ability and because there is a few bugs that I'm not going to show you now. I will show you in the next video, but we're basically going to be fixing those bugs with the jumping ability. So I'll see you guys in the next video.